Carlos Nelson with Cascade Media Group, and today we have one of our local artists out of uh, KCK, Miss Karen White. How you doing, Karen?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing just fine. Uh,
Good.
Tell our audience a little bit about yourself. What type of art that you engage in? How long have you been uh, artist, and uh, talk about some of the people that influenced you.
I think I was born with a pencil or crayon in my hand. I've always drawn. I've always been creative. I love creating pictures or anything that has to do with my hands. Some of the mediums I deal with is chalk. I like pastels, pencils, um, and oils and watercolor, and actually oil pastels is something I'm working with now. Just a variety of things expressing what I feel. And some of the people that have influenced me is my mother and my father, and even I have an identical twin, Kathy Colin, who is creative, and they have always been an influence. Even some of the artists that we have and singers. So it's just a move, how I feel, how I want to express myself to others, and conveying that.
Uh, we talked about some of your art. Where locally here in Kansas City has some of your art been displayed?
In times past, the Historic Society, I had some work there. I do have some at the gallery in Westport. I believe it's the Source Gallery. I have some there at this particular time. I have shown at the Iowa State Library is one of the places when I was staying in Iowa. And just those are some of the things that places I've been.
What type of environment do you see right now uh, for Black artists, local artists here in the area?
The environment, I see more of us getting out in the environment, doing murals, showing our community what we're about, bringing our communities together, as far as the variety of pieces, having input from children. So when you're driving by one of the places, again, these murals, then at a snapshot, people can see there's a community working together, there's children working, there's education. I just see some of these things transpiring a little bit more as far as Kansas City or Kansas City, Missouri.
Uh, what kind of environment do you see with the general public buying Black art?
I think in that arena, it's a little difficult because African Americans are not valued as our counterparts when it comes to the product that we have. If you have a picture of excuse the term, of the African American and then a Caucasian person, and they draw the same thing, more than likely, I believe the value on our counterpart would be much more, even though it would be the same piece. So it's a little difficult because we're not valued as much and as highly as our counterparts are. I don't know why that is. Talent is talent. There's no color to talent.
Well, but we live in the real world. That's almost
Yes,
like
we do.
redlining. You know, they come to sell a house. There's a white person in the house, and they give you the appraisal. They come to sell a house. There's Black couple in the house. The appraisal is going to be much lower for the same house, and that's what you're talking about with the artwork. Uh,
That's
let's
true.
take a look at some of the pieces that you have uh, done over the past couple of years. So, talk about some of the pieces that we just displayed.
There is a young boy Indian piece where it's on a gray background, and I drew him with white and black chalk. Uh, that particular piece, it captivated me because he looks like he's somber. He's looking down, he's thinking, and I just wanted people to get a feeling of how he feels just by looking at it. So being able to identify with that piece. There is also in another Indian piece that I did, a young, older gentleman with a vendetta. And he's looking out into, he's looking outward, he's looking into the future. So he's just solemnly sitting there thinking and looking at their future because, again, he's an older Indian and he's reflecting. There is another piece that it is a fish, it's a beta. And on that one, it was black background, and I drew that with white chalk. I wanted to get a positive, negative look, and I wanted the fins or to be flowing and to look like it's actually underwater.
It did. It does.
I'm glad, because looking at a piece, an art piece, and seeing, even though it's flat, but giving it the illusion of movement and or folds.
It looked three-dimensional to me. Maybe another. I was like, boy, the how the fins, the wave, we got it.
Nice. And then there's a piece I did notice that I sent you with Billie Holiday. I noticed in the background that you do have that same identical piece that
and if I move my big head, you see Miles in the background.
I enjoy doing that piece. She looks like she's really into tune of what she's doing. She's singing her heart out, and again, wanting people to see what I see. So when the art piece is done, they're looking through my eyes. So that's what I want them to see.
My favorite piece that I liked that caught my eye right off the bat was the Oriental piece.
The lady with, it looks like she has a geisha girl. Her face is very light, and she's very peaceful and very delicate. And that particular piece, I just wanted to give that ambiance, give that look, that she's at peace with herself. She's at peace with who she is, and she's beautiful, and she doesn't have a lot of makeup on or anything, more of a natural thing. So this is what I was trying to convey in doing that very delicate art piece.
So we talked about this piece behind you that we didn't put in this collection. You said that you were experimenting with new forms and textures and materials. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay, doing an Oriental piece, actually, if I can bring that up a little bit. That piece is done on wood. It's wood burning. And I've done a little bit of, you can't see it, light hint of color, which I use color pencils. It took a little bit to do that, but I was intrigued with her look. And
how long did it take you to finish that piece?
It took about 2.5 weeks to finish her up. So that was I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Frederick Douglass caught my eye, and I was getting ready to hone in on him.
Yes, Frederick Douglass. Maybe you can see a little bit more or a little bit closer. I'm sorry.
Right.
Because of the lights hitting him.
Looks good.
Thank you. That one's done in pencil. I like the black and white because that's nostalgic. Black and white can go in any frame. And again, that's the Oriental piece, and the lights coming down, hitting in a certain way, but that's called a wood burning.
All right. Since we rolling like that, What do you have up for 2022?
To do more out regarding art, getting more out in the community, doing some murals. That's some of the things that I do. Want to do some more murals, maybe chalk drawings where you draw a 12 by 12 foot picture and you do it with soft pastels. And just doing more of a variety of art on different with different mediums, different surfaces, and just I'd like to work with glass. So that's another avenue that I'm going to eventually be working with. But doing more art, doing some more creative things.
So how can one contact your website and contact you if they would like to get a portrait done or have something sketched?
They can go to my website, which is www.karens with an S creation.com, and that's KARENSKREATION.com. And on that website, they can click on my email address, and then they can send me an email, and they can view some of the things I've done, some news articles. I've had a lot of opportunity to work with nonprofit organizations and just bring the art to our community and encourage them to be creative in what they're doing, something positive.
Excellent. Well, it was a plum pleasing pleasure having you on the show today. And as we always say in closing, when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself.
This program is brought to you by Clark Star.